Oops! This is my new setup. Welcome again to my channel. I'm Mason. This is my first video on Git and GitHub. If you know nothing about Git and GitHub, this is a video for you. I make this video for absolute beginners. You don't have to know anything about programming to use GitHub. Recently, Moni has finished her Making Simple Websites with PHP series. I'm thinking I should register a GitHub account to share her code with you. By recently, I mean June 2020. Anyway, I'm taking this opportunity to introduce you to Git, the version control system itself, which is supposed to be installed on your PC, on your local machine, to help you manage your versions locally, so you don't have to make 1,000 copies of the same file just to make sure you have all versions, all changes you made on the same file covered. With Git, you only need to keep one file on your system and just add and commit it to your local repository, which stores the snapshots of your files. One day when you regret and want to return to any past version, with Git, you can have the privilege to return to any commit, any previous state of your project in your stream of snapshots. Let's look at the 3 main things you need to know about Git. I will leave a link in the description box below. The orange square means your working directory, the files on your local machine, your working tree, maybe the folder you use to save your files. The the blue square is the staging area, which will only exist when you initiate Git in your folder. The idea is that after you modified a file in your local machine in your folder, you will have to add the particular file or files in order to stage it for your next commit snapshot. One tip: you only need to add the files you want Git to keep track for you into your staging area, and only commit those into your Git repository. Just like I said before, you can turn your local folder into a Git repository, or you can clone a Git repository from elsewhere. Then you can start or continue to commit changes into the repository. After you make your commit or commits, you can view the commit history, and you can check out your project, your files anytime to restore the working tree on your machine. At this moment, we have not yet talked about branching. We will discuss it in the next episode. Let all the concepts we have just discussed about sunk in for a moment. Allow me to turn our focus to GitHub. It is a much easier starting point for beginners. You do not need to write any code. You just need to click a few buttons to create a repository, commit your changes, or create a new branch when you feel like to develop on a new idea. Most importantly, you can share your public repository with others. And of course, you can clone other people's repository as well. Now let's create an account. Create a username for yourself that no one used before. Provide an email address which you can receive emails. And make up a password according to the rules. Then click sign up for an account. Prove to them that you are a human, not a robot. Rotate. Then you are good to go. So now we can join a free plan. GitHub will welcome us by asking us to do a survey. Anyway, answer the questions honestly and you are ready to join the community. This is just a one-page setup process. Just be patient. Choose this, and then I'm interested in JavaScript and Node.js. Then you will receive an email, verify your account. So now we can create our first repository. Give it a name. Create a simple website. And then we'll give it a description, a meaningful description. You see in below, I choose to make it a public repository. Then click Create. We have created our first repository on GitHub. In the Quick Setup section, there is a link for you to use in Git, but we will not use it yet. Let's create the README.md file on GitHub. There are two tabs, the Preview tab. You can see the title and the description. When we click on the Edit New File tab, we can see the markdown for our title and the description, which is automatically added to this README file. A README file is the first thing people will see when they visit your repo. With it, you can tell people what your project does and how they can get started with your project or how they can contribute. In the video description, I will share a link on how you can format your README file. The syntax is different from HTML. You will have to look at it to know how you can format your README file properly. For example, you can use the hash symbol to create a heading. And to make a link, you have to put your link text in a bracket and followed by a pair of parentheses which contains your URL. You can see that when I turn back to the preview view, the cursor turns into a pointer when I hover on the links. Allow me to add more text in my README file. Preview it. The links are okay. Yeah. So, I'm done. Let me commit this change. Don't forget to add the description. Okay. Something to remind me what I have done. Commit new file. Yeah. You can see the README file is serviced under our repo. Here. Let's see if the link is working. Yeah. You can see my playlist. Go back. Okay, now let's visit the Insights tab. Click on Network. And we see the network graph. There is one black dot, our first commit point. Let me make another change so we can create another commit point. Commit directly to the master branch. On Insight page, we see one author, which is me, has pushed 2 commits. Now you see the master branch with 2 commit points on it. The owner is me, Hello Qtumation. Now we have 2 commit points on one branch, our master branch. Let's go back to the Code tab and let me modify this file again. I delete something and add something, and then I add a description and make another commit point. Now on the network graph, you can see there are 3 commit points. But you can track more than one file on a branch. Let me show you. I will make another file, index.php. You see? I make another commit. There are total 4 commit points now. Let me make further changes. I add a case. Yeah. And preview. The lines highlighted in green colors with plus signs means when compared to the previous version, these lines are newly added. Okay. Go back to the code. It shows we have edited the index.php file 14 seconds ago. Now let's change it again. How about I remove the lines I have just added before and see what will happen. It is highlighted in red with minus signs. Okay, it can detect those lines are removed. How about I add some more lines? Contact to, and with this change, you can see there are 2 lines highlighted in red and 2 lines highlighted in green. The program is very smart to not highlight break, because in the previous version I also have the break line. Okay, go back to the Edit File tab. Let me remove the case contact to and preview. Okay, those 3 lines are highlighted in red again. Isn't the program smart? And let me commit. Now guess what we will see on our network graph? Yeah, another commit point. Maybe at this point you think, okay, it can track changes, but no big deal. Many programs can track changes. It's not that special. Okay, well, it can help you not to step on other people's toes and kill each other over different versions of changes, because everyone has their own code base. Of course, you can clone other people's repository, but you are working on your own timeline, your own branch, your own repository. With that said, you can also create your own branch, so you can work on your crazy ideas without other people knowing it, or they know it but they cannot stop you. Anyway, branching is cheap and you can do it whenever you want it. At the end, when you feel like it, you can send a pull request to the coordinator or the integrator and ask them to consider to merge your changes. So everything is peaceful and polite. No one is killing anyone over changes. Wonderful world. And this episode is longer than I thought. In the next episode, we will discuss distributed workflow, how to fork other people's repo, and merge branches and repo on GitHub. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you like this kind of topic. Leave me a comment and I will see you next time. Bye bye.